Hello everyone, welcome once again. And we're still talking about aging. Generally, with aging, there are a lot of changes that come about, and the elderly people have to look for coping mechanisms to be able to adapt and adjust to these changes that come with aging. And for us as carers, as family members, as healthcare personnel, we equally have to assist them to help them in maintaining this independence and having a good quality of life. So in this video, we are going to talk about a couple of things that we can do, help the elderly to be able to do in order to have a good quality of life while they are aging. The first thing we're going to talk about is exercise and physical activity. These are actually very, very important to be able to help the elderly persons to maintain their independence, because it helps them with balance. It helps them equally with posture. So exercise and physical activity is very, very imperative in helping the elderly to maintain independence. Secondly, it's going to be social activity. It is quite important to socialize, keep along with family members, with friends and loved ones, because this helps them to keep their mental health in place, that they're not going to be over thoughtful and they're going to remain on a positive mindset. So in helping them maintaining their independence and improving on their quality of life, we have to encourage them in maintaining the social aspects of their well-being. And certainly not, we're not going to forget about dieting. Dieting is very, very important. What you eat, what you drink, it's very important, especially in old age where we want them to have a good quality of life. So we have to ensure that they are eating properly, they are eating just what they need for their cognitive health, for their balance, for their body, for their brains. It is very, very essential to ensure that they are eating properly. For the elderly people to equally remain active, we may want to add some little games that will boost up their mental capacity, puzzles, picture games. It equally helps them to have their minds off from a lot of negativity. So you could bring up games to help them, puzzles, riddles, and gardening as well. So this helps them to remain in activity and not just being all idle and sedentary. In as much as we want to ensure that the elderly persons maintain their independence and that they have a good quality of life, we equally have to make sure that at home or wherever they may be, the environment is quite safe for them, because we definitely not want an instance where an elderly is falling, because falls are actually very, very critical for elderly persons. So we have to ensure that there is home safety, environmental safety wherever they may be for the elderly person. It helps equally in maintaining their level of independence. If we have to put bars by the hand or rails so that they could grab it when they are moving around, to help them with their balance and their gait, so that they can hold them around and walk as well, because it helps them too for their balance. Especially in homes, if need be, try to make the adjustments possible that you can for the elderly persons. If you have to increase the doors, if you have to put the carpet to avoid the floors from being slippery, the little adjustments that can be made. If you have to paint the walls, change the colors to enable them seeing properly, especially for those that may have visual impairment, then you could consider that as well, while trying to ensure that the elderly persons are able to maintain this independence. We equally have to help them with assistive devices if need be. If we see that these tools are necessary for them to be able to maintain their independence, then we can give it to them. Example, canes, walkers. We can help them with this to help them so that they are not going to definitely be so dependent, and but then they can walk by themselves around the house, around the facility. So we could also consider assistive devices when we're talking about maintaining independence and improving quality of life in the elderly persons. And certainly the next thing is going to be medication. Usually with aging, there is a lot of pharmacology that comes in because of the various comorbidities. But now we have to keep track of the medications that the elderly people are taking, tracking, timing, and ensuring that they are taking the medications that actually been prescribed for them, so that they don't go into an overdosing and they don't go into drug toxicity as well. This helps them not to equally be so dependent on all the drugs that they could definitely or possibly want to take. And of course, not forgetting, always ensure to seek medical advice in case of anything that you notice that hasn't been present while you're taking care of your elderly persons. Or if you're health personnel, always ensure that you speak to your supervisors or the higher authorities in case you notice any changes or any challenges while you're taking care of your elderly parents or your elderly clients or your elderly patients. And I hope that this video actually helps you to be able to manage the challenges that we may face while caring for the elderly persons, and while we are trying to help them maintain their independence and improve their quality of life. I am Mofa Melvis from Positive and Healthy Aging Association, Cameroon, FACAM.